Students, today we will see multi-level inheritance. This is a diagram of multi-level inheritance. You can see in this we have three classes. You can have multiple classes in this. At this time, you have to consider level. The classes will go level wise. So what do you mean by this multi-level? We will see in the next slide. In multi-level inheritance, there will be a chain of inheritance with a class derived from only one parent and will have only one child class. Now, what do you mean by this? If you see the diagram of this multi-level, that if you consider A and B, then B is a derived class and A will become a base class. After that, if you consider this B and C, then B will become a base class which was a derived class. This will become now a base class and then C will become a derived class. Likewise, there will be a chain of inheritance with a class derived from only one parent and will have only one child. Here, example of syntax of the same will be something like this. Class A is a base class, then class B will become a derived which we are deriving from class A. So in this case, A will become base and B will become a derived. Then in the next part, B will become base which was derived. B will become base and C will become derived. And likewise, chain will go on. So now let's see the example of multi-level inheritance. Now in this example, I took three classes. Class person is my first class. Class employee will be my second class. And class full-time will be my third class. So class A is nothing but, if we see the diagram, that A will become a person. That person class is nothing but our A class, then employee class is nothing but our B class, and full-time is nothing but our C class. So as we all are aware, B is deriving from A and C is deriving from B. We will apply the same thing here. That means employee will be deriving from person and full-time will be deriving from the employee. Now let's see what is the program. In the class person, I took two variables, name and age. That means we will be having here a name of the person and the age of the person. Now, in this class, I have defined two methods. One is getInfo and the other one is putInfo. So, in the getInfo method, we are asking user to enter name and age of the person, and whatever name and age entered by the user, that we will display by using putInfo method. This is all about class person. I would like to tell you one more thing here, that this getInfo inputInfo method name we will be having same in the further classes also. That means whenever we are writing the next class, we will be using getInfo and putInfo method name only. What we are going to accept from the user in other class, getInfo method and putInfo method, that will be different, but name will remain same. Now after finishing a class person, after entering person name and age, now we are having the next class. That will be employee class. We have written this, that means employee is our deriving class, which is deriving a data from person class, which will become now base class. In this, we are having two variables, employee number and employee salary. So under public visibility mode, as I said, we have the same method name, getInfo and putInfo. So in the getInfo method, we are asking user to enter employee number and employee salary. Whereas whatever employee number and salary we have inputted by the user, that we will be displaying by using putInfo method. Employee number, employee name, number, salary and the salary. Here you can see under getInfo of employee, We have written person scope resolution operator get info, and under put info of the employee class we have also written person scope resolution operator put info. Here what we are doing, we are telling our compiler that we have to call getInfo method from person class, and here we have to call putInfo method from the person class. So whenever we are executing employee class, getInfo and putInfo method from the person class, getInfo and putInfo method will be automatically called. After finishing class employee, now we will be having our third class C, which is deriving from class B. So here class full-time is deriving from class employee. Full-time will become a derived and employee will become a base. In the class full-time, we are having only one variable, that is hours. Now, as I told you that we have same method named getInfo and putInfo. So in the getInfo method, we are asking user to enter number of hours of the employee, and in the putInfo method, we are displaying the same. You can see we have also called here employee scope resolution operator getInfo and employee scope resolution operator putInfo. So here again we are calling getInfo method from employee class, which is a base class of this full time, and putInfo method from the main employee class, which is nothing but the base class of the class. So here we have finished our three classes: class person, class employee, and class full time. In the class person, we are asking user to enter person name and person age. In the class student, we are asking user to enter name of the person and the age of the person. After this, in the employee class, we are asking user to enter employee number and employee salary. And in the full time, we are asking user to enter number of hours of a particular employee. So A, B, C, that is person, employee and full time, these three classes have finished now. Now the main function is remaining. In the main function, we have to create object of the derived class and we have to call the methods. So full time is my derived class here. I have created T as an object of this full time class. Then by using T, we are calling methods, that T.getInfo and T.putInfo. Here, as we have written getInfo in class person also, in the class public, class employee also, and class full time also. Now, to make it more specific, we are calling these methods by using class name. So object name dot class name scope resolution operator and then method name. So like this, we have called getInfo and putInfo, and then we have just finished our main function. So when we execute the program, first main function will execute. It will create T object for the full time class, and then after creating the object, it will call getInfo method from full time class. So first I will go here, getInfo from the full time class. Now the very first line in this getInfo is employee scope resolution getInfo. So it will go up, it will go getInfo to the employee class. GetInfo of the employee class. In the getInfo of the employee class, the very first method is nothing but the person. So again it will execute getInfo method from the person class. So cursor will go here, and then user message for the user will be there on the window. Please enter name and age of the person. whatever name and age you have entered, that you are going to display by using putinfo method. But now after entering name and age of the person, now after finishing getInfo method from person class, now it will ask user to enter number of hours, and also it will ask user to enter employee number and employee salary. So likewise, getInfo from all three classes will be called by using the object of the class full-time. Once the getInfo is over, that means person name, age, employee number, salary, and number of hours are done, the cursor will go to the next putinfo method. Now, in the putinfo method, again, putinfo will be called from full-time class. So it will come here. Now the very first statement is employee putinfo. So now it will call putinfo method from the employee class. Now in the employee class, the very first line is person putinfo. So it will go to person class and it will call the putinfo method. So first, putinfo method from person class will be called whatever name and age entered by the user, that will display on the window. After finishing this will execute whatever employee number and salary we have included, that will be displayed on the window, and finally whatever number of hours we have included by the user, that will be there on the window. So by using this putinfo method, three methods from three different classes will be called, one from person, one from employee, and another one for full-time. So likewise here we are having a multi-level inheritance application like A, B and C, person, employee and the full-time. This is what is the example of multi-level inheritance, where we have a chain of the classes, but at a time only one class will become a parent class and another only one class will become a child class. Thank you.